Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm April and this is April Avenue. I'm gonna ask you guys to hit that subscribe button and join the family. And today I have for you 7 mistakes that I made during the first 2 years of my lock journey. So if you want to see some things that you probably should be avoiding if you're starting your locks, please keep watching. Number 1, starting my locks myself. Now, I know a lot of people have started their locks on their own and have had great success. And to some degree, I am happy that I started my locks myself. But I really wish I would have went to a professional to get the parting ratio of the lock to the size of the parting a little bit better than I have. And so the way I started my locks, because I did them myself, that parting is not as neat or as professional. Now, to some people that doesn't matter, but for people who are more meticulous in their styling and want certain patterns in terms of the way they style their hair, that may be more important. And I just wish I would have gotten that done professionally. Number 2, starting your locks on damaged hair. So again, this second mistake, kind of like the first mistake, are 2 that you really cannot undo. So once you've started your locks and you've made these 2 mistakes, you're gonna have to start a whole new set of locks in order to correct these mistakes. So these are 2 things that you really want to avoid. And the second mistake is starting on damaged hair. So you don't want to start your locks on color damaged hair or relaxed hair the way that I did, and that was a big mistake for me. I wish I would not have done. I wish I would have let my hair sort of rest and grow out and become more healthy before I went on to start my locks. So that's something you definitely want to avoid. Mistake number 3, not washing often enough. So when I first started my locks, I sort of fell into this misconception that water would cause my locks to unravel and that they would sort of delay the locking process for me. That couldn't be further from the truth. Water actually is an integral part of how the lock forms internally. And so not washing my hair often enough was only working against that natural locking process. So guys, if you're just starting out, you want to find a healthy balance where you're not overwashing your hair, because that can cause additional problems, but you're not underwashing your hair, because that's going to start giving you scalp issues and possibly build up. Number 4, over manipulating. Now the mistake for me was being sort of style obsessed during that initial stage where I was constantly trying to retwist my hair very often to keep it looking neat and prevent it from being frizzy. And that was how I coped with the awkward phase. And you really don't want to do that, because that can weaken the root of your locks. That can cause breaking or thinning of your edges or your locks in general. And so you really don't want to over manipulate your hair in the beginning stages or ever at all throughout your journey. And so over manipulation for me was in the form of braiding, retwisting, interlocking, styling, as well as just playing with my locks. So sometimes we have that habit of just playing in your hair, and that can cause some damage too. So that's not something you want to do over and over continuously. I was retwisting maybe every 2 weeks, which is definitely a bit too often, especially if you're just starting out. You want to let your roots grow in thick and healthy before you manipulate them. Number 5. So mistake number 5 was heavy product use. And this is one that I think a lot of not only locked naturals but loose naturals fall into.
So there's gels and jams and puddings and waxes and souffles and creams.
And I could go on and on. And a lot of them are targeted to help your hair lock faster. And so we fall into that hype and think that a product is going to speed up the locking process. That's not true. In fact, the less you do to your hair, the faster it will appear to be locking, right? So I would advise you guys to not fall into the hype of using tons of products and waxes and creams, but to just give your hair what it needs, really just moisture on a regular basis in the form of water and some type of oil. Number 6, overprotective styling. So this is a mistake that I made as well by putting braids and twists over my locks, thinking that I could cheat the ugly phase, thinking that I could bypass that awkward stage of locks when your locks are just beginning to mature, and so that was a huge mistake. And I'll probably insert pictures here that are showing you how during the first year of my locks, the progress was so slow, and that's because of the protective styling. In fact, when you put twists and braids over your locks, they sort of stifle the lock's ability to breathe, and that is very important for the locking process. So when I took my braids off of my baby locks, they looked like no locking had happened at all in between that time. And that's when I knew that protective styling was actually delaying the locking process. And as you can see in the pictures, as soon as I started embracing my locks and just wearing them the way they were and embracing that awkward phase, my locks actually started to lock and look like locks. So you don't want to try to hide or cheat the ugly phase. You really just want to go through it and embrace it. And the last mistake that I have for you guys is being impatient. I was really impatient, and you'll see, and I'm sure you can see that through each of the other mistakes that I mentioned. But I really wanted my hair to lock really fast, and I thought that it was an overnight process. And the minute I realized that this is a long haul journey, this is a marathon, not a sprint, hair was actually locking faster. So I would encourage you guys to just be patient. Trust the process. Your hair is locking. Many people have gone through this process before, and as you can see by tracking other people on here on YouTube, tracking their journey, you'll realize that all you have to do is literally nothing. All right, trust the process, be patient, and have fun. So that's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up this video, share it with anyone you know who may benefit from knowing these mistakes, and make sure you subscribe, join the family, and stay updated when I post new videos.